Dave Popkin being joined by NJIT women's basketball coach Mike Lane as the Highlanders get set for America East Conference tournament play. And let's talk a little bit about your most recent game. You started the seniors on senior day. Bryant came in, pretty hot team, and you dominated, winning by more than 20 points, surprising some, but the team played great.
Thank you. They did. It was great. It was a wonderful performance. Obviously special because the seniors were such a big part of it. You of course want that script on senior day, but you don't sometimes get it. But I thought their beginning of the second half, that early third quarter, I thought was especially huge. You know, that we had dominated that first half. We did everything we wanted to, but we kind of, those seniors put it away in some ways, at least in that first 5 minutes. So a great performance. I thought we had performance up and down the roster, but it's also nice when you can bring Ale and Trin and Marissa off the bench as opposed to them starting. So it was a fun day in the WEC.
Did you almost find something in that game to say, hey, we can play the veterans more, and we're not going to lose the lead?
Yeah, and I mean, we've been deep all year. I don't know if that's like a 5 that we're rolling with, but, Kiana, Lily, obviously Lizzie, Kenna, these have been huge players. Aria, these have been huge players in their career here. They've been part of every season. So they have, every confidence that they know what they're doing. Their staff, we have every confidence that they know what they're doing. So I think it really just underlined our depth and maybe allows us to trust it a little bit more going into tournament play, where sometimes maybe you're shrinking your rotation. You're at least like, okay, no, we feel good. We can go deep into our bench.
Kenna Squire was terrific in that one, certainly the player of the game. She was drilling threes, gave the team a lot of confidence early on, and it's great to see her have success in her final year.
Absolutely, and again, we need that type of performance from her. She needs to kind of have the foot on the gas. She's a great teammate. She's a really nice kid. Sometimes she's a little bit too nice, and she wants to kind of play complementary basketball, which is fine, but she can't play safe. She has to attack, she has to hunt, and I thought we saw that early in the game against Bryant, and we'd like to see that continue on through the tournament.
You talked about a couple of the younger players, Trinity Williams, Alejandra Thaniga, great inside-out combination. What do you need from them in the playoffs?
Well, we would love to see them work together more. We've been trying to crack that a little bit, and we've tried to open up our offense a little bit more for more attacks, and I think our post players are getting actually more touches out of that. We were playing a more motion game earlier in the year. We did tweak that. We're still going to that motion game a little bit. So our post players are getting the ball differently than they were maybe in December. And so that's still kind of the learning curve that we're on here, but we've seen it click certainly in this last week. Trin had a big game at UMBC. So if we can continue to get that inside out, that we're scoring points in the paint. Ale's driving and dishing and driving and finishing, but now she's driving and really being a threat. Now we can kick it out to Aria and Kenna for some wide open threes.
Mike, roller coaster season, obviously a good non-conference start. Then you guys dipped in January, and now you've won 3 out of 4. Some momentum going into the conference tournament. What is going right now?
I think we did retool some things, like I just said. So January was dark, but there was some hope that, hey, we're working through some stuff. We wanted to peak at this right time. We wanted to play really well, obviously, at the end. And I think some of that's just coming to fruition. It's not the journey we wanted, but we're at the destination where we want to be. We want to be playing our best basketball here in March, and we are, so it's good.
So you're the 7th seed. You go up to Albany. 2 very different games against them this year in the regular season. One loss was lopsided, and one was like a one-possession game there at the end. What do we expect from Albany?
They're very good. They're very old. They're very physical. So Hagerstrand's been there forever. Cooper is a first-team all-league type of kid. Sarah Carpel comes in as a grad transfer and really leads their team. Megan Herter didn't play in the second game. She's a big threat off the bench for them from 3, probably the best shooter in the league. So they've only lost 5 games. They're really good, and we knew we were going to get a really good team here. But we're really happy that we got to this tournament. Obviously, we have some confidence because our second performance was so much better than the first. But it's going to be a war. We're going to have to really match their physicality. I thought we did that for the most part, but in the end, in that second game, they dominated the glass, especially the O boards. And so we have to keep obviously Cooper and Evans and Hagerstrand Bertrand and Carpel and Abby Ray, all these kids that are just crashing the bench on Albany. If we win the boards, we have a chance to win the game.
You have a fun team to watch right now. I wish you luck.
Thanks, Dave.
Okay, that'll be Friday. Mike Lane and the women's basketball team of NJIT taking on Albany in the America East tournament.